Hey guys, this is Cyber, and I'm gonna show you my 2025 sketchbook. So, a sketchbook tour, if you will. I'm just gonna open this, and yeah. This is a completely unscripted video. So here we go. Here's a sketchbook, like the 2020 book. Here is a tralero tralala. When I did it when Italian brain rot was trendy, I decided to hop on it. And here I decided to just redraw the Skybound Optimus. And like, oh, what do you feel about going on the offense? My Optimus Prime design at the time. Here is Soundwave. Here's a spreadsheet of Soundwave stuff. I don't know. Here is the right lightning drawing. I made a digitalized version of this stuff, but so yeah. Here is I did that while listening to Stronger by Kanye West, or even Harder, Better, Fast, Stronger by Daft Punk. Here is a Skywarp Nitro Zeus being duck-ons, yo. We duck-ons, yo. Being hella gangsta. Here is some scenery drawing shit, I don't know. Whatever the fuck this is. Here is an alternate universe version of me called Velocitronics. Which is like in, I don't know, some parallel universe or shit. I don't really remember how much. Here is your old Megatron. Yesterday's garbage. Ready for the scrap heap. Let's see who's ready for the scrap heap. Is that like an original? And here is some drawing some vehicles because I suck at them. I don't think you're supposed to see that, so just override. And here's a spreadsheet of just a bunch of random robots. The robots. Hey, editing Cyber here. So, I paused because my mom gave me breakfast. And soon I got back to recording. Yeah, let's get back to it. And where were we? Oh, yeah. Here's I'm trying to make an NOC one. Again, sounds like Sandy, like Optimus Prime, like Sedusa, like Megatron, and like Scrapper. Her go-getter side, her stoic side, her horny side, her bossy side, and her evil side. And here's some versions of like, here's some object show versions of Transformers characters. Optimus Prime as a Prime model, Bumblebee as a Beehive, Ratchet as a Ratchet, Ironhide as Iron, Sideswipe as some sort of ball, I don't know what this is, Sunstreaker the Mirror, Jazz as an automaton, RC as an RC controller, Prowl as a police badge, Megatron as a megaphone, Soundwave as his micro cassette recorder, Shockwave as a magnifying glass, Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker as ice cream, Astro Train as whatever the fuck this is, Blitzwing as a wing, Flame War as a fireball. Seekers! 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 I do this based off of like some sort of like Bump Brother production video. You know the one. Me and my in real life friend quote this way too much. And here's an Aquilita spreadsheet. And the kitties! My LC Pentagon with lots of kitty cats for some reason. And here is midnights for Galvatron, Nightbird, Cyclonus, and Scourge. Here, once I'm trying to make the musical C challenge with my old playlist. So here we are. We got this like Axl Rose lookalike, whatever the fuck he is. Here it is. Here is Optimus and Jasmine looking at sunset, kind of like I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any surviving Autobot taking refuge among the stars. And here's all the bud! I drew this while listening to Crazy Train, and I just decided to draw Astro Train because, yeah. Here is an old drawing about my school's musical, The Fusion, and I'm gonna make it into like a game called The Fusion Revamped. Here is Starscream again. Here is another drawing of Jasmine and Optimus, and here's a ballerina cappuccina. Drew this yet again while it was trending. Drew more fusion doodles here. Whoa, whoa. Here's Captain Glorpador. Here's Bumblebee, sweet boy. Like that one video from Toys That Made Us documentary about the Transformers. Here's Leo from The Fusion. He walks alone. Here's another source. Like inside me, the source. When I made the source, I made it the fuck up. More stuff. Just Manfred, Kaya, and Leo from The Fusion. Here's one of the monkeys from The Fusion. Just a little monkey. And I made some stickers for it, so now when we were, if they were, and here's what you got there, a smoothie. And here is my old design for my Sona. And here is Megatron Siren yet again. And here's this like old thumbnail sketch I did for like a comic book thing. And here's Metallica. I drew them from memory in the school break. And here's the Megatron and some Megatron stuff. So did some concept art for the game. Here's Ozzy. Here's my first design for Sadie. Alexis, Tom, and Mike. Did not make Dane. Here is some stuff for like project. Here is Lucario, my friend from Discord. This is Dave and Sadie. Sadie and her uncle Dave, which is Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. Here is Sadie with Penny, because they're pretty similar characters. Here's Mag again and Lord Bisk from the Vanguards, make them designs. Here is something I made for the graphic design for a graphic design trial day. And here is Emperor Zargon from the Mucus Invasion series. And here's how Mucins look like. Here is my own design for Eddie. I kind of mostly inspired from Somewhere in Time, and I decided to, I hope they use this for like if Iron Maiden made like a robot uprising themed one. Here's some the Psycho Ranger concepts. Here is a sketch for the Fusion Revamped. Here's me and Gabriel. Here is the Pick Me Girl, Stacy Miller, that becomes the Psycho Pink Ranger. It's just one of those days. I don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. It's like some sort of like vent art, because school sucks. And here is my teacher. Here's Dave Mustaine. Here's Master. Here's my Master of Puppets drawing. And here's Cthulhu. And here is me as a supervillain. Gabriel is a supervillain. This is like concept for the logo. Here is some vent art because everybody drives me insane. Here's a sparkling I wanted to draw, but I could not come to draw it because I did not concept for it. Here is some vent art about my dog dying, and here's pregnant Sadie because she gets pregnant soon. Here's Raphael. Here's some boys in my school. I drew them as supervillains. The civilian that's a henchman, stuff like that. And here is some more Mucus Invasion concept character concepts. And here's something one of my teachers drew, and this is Zalga, the wife of Emperor Zaragon. Here's something I know Sam made with Barbara. Here's the Ace of Spades, another character from the Vanguards. And here's a concept for like an Eldritch Horror Unicron. If I make another design for Unicron, this is how it would look like. Here's Nyarlathotep. Here's some octopus studies. And I made tried drawing the Crawling Chaos. And I drew him again here. And here's him in his human form with me, because he's my fictional dad. Here's me being summoned. Here's some Constructicons. And here's me as a furry, because I saw a YouTuber named Zayler draw themselves as a furry because their friends are furries. And I just ran out of ideas. And this is the back cover page. And that's all, folks. So what do you think of my old sketchbook? Comment down below. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.